Many of us know that money or the use of money in elections has been becoming an important subject, not just in Uganda but across many African countries. The issue of access to information has not been fully engaged. Many of us do not know, for example, how candidates, whether they are local councillors, whether they are district chairpersons, whether they are MPs, or contesting for presidency, we don't know how they are funded, whether that money actually comes from public sources through different forms, whether this money comes from private corporations, whether within these countries or outside, and the conditions that could be attached to those sources. Because of that, it becomes difficult for a voter, for a citizen, to hold to account their leaders.
What I know for political parties that get funds from the state, they are supposed to file returns with the Electoral Commission. But a lot of these people are also funded by either business people or foreign agencies. So, if we have leaders whose source of election financing we don't know, doesn't that affect the way they perform their duties when they assume office? So we need to know who is funding who, how much money is coming in. Are they environmental groups? Are they conservatives? Are they far-right groups? Maybe the Far East or the Chinese money. We've heard about all the things in the recently concluded election. So I think candidates should account, political parties should account, the EC itself, the Electoral Commission should account, because the EC is at the center of all these processes. So if the EC is not accountable, then who should call the others to account? Even civil society and these media organizations should also account, because usually as the government we are under a lot of pressure, and we like it that way because we know we use public money from taxpayers. But if we are accountable, then it's only fair that everyone else is accountable.
Well, on the issue of the law, one of the things we need to know is that some of the pieces of legislation that you have are a bit fragmented. You realize that one law is here and another piece of provision is in some other law. That's why when you look at the anti-homosexuality bill, I think it's still a bill, you realize that the penal code actually does provide for some of those provisions, but you realize that they are a bit scattered.
Yes, an amendment to the law that captures a wider range of what is termed as money can help. What is termed as campaign contribution, campaign financing, that interpretation, I think, would go a long way, because sometimes there are things that will not be cash. So how do you capture them? To say you hired a taxi, it transported 20 people from point A to point B, you influenced them to vote for you, and that was part of campaign financing. Maybe that would be able to help.
The idea was to see if we can look into election financing in Senegal. How far have they gone? Where are they now and where are they headed? And then again compare with Uganda as well and see how far have we gone, where are we headed, and where are we lacking.
The reason why you may need a law is to ensure that you have all these things in one piece of legislation. Because I've had the opportunity to read both laws, the one for Kenya and the one for Tanzania on election financing, and they're very, very, very detailed. When you actually read them, you're going to realize that yes, we do need a law. We also need to ask ourselves, why do some of these politicians continuously, get all these monies, borrow? It's because people are demanding and they need to continuously give them the monies. But if you're able to make that connection, that by you continuously begging or putting pressure on a politician to give you money, indirectly, this and this and this is the after effect.
The final report will be out in a month, and we invite you to join the campaign to disseminate it and make people aware of the need to have campaign cash for them. Thank you very much.